I've got some news. You might not want to be near anything breakable when I tell you, though.
Why don't I buy you a pint and we'll talk?
You just keep making this harder. Although I won't say no to a pint, if you're buying. I've had an ear out for Bartrand. After the deep roads, he ran to Ravane, probably because he knew I couldn't track him. But I hear he might be back in Kirkwall. He called in loans from a few of his contacts in Hightown.
Was he staying in Hightown, or just passing through?
If my information is good, and it's always good, he has a house there. Which gives us a good shot at having a word with my dear sweet brother.
How are you holding up, Varric?
Me? My no-account backstabbing brother is practically in arm's reach. I couldn't be better.
Would Bartrand really risk coming back here?
I think we both know by now that Bartrand would risk anything for money. There's a much better market here for that trinket he stole, and all his contacts are in Kirkwall.
I've really missed Bartrand. We've got a lot of catching up to do.
I agree. Bianca's been missing him something awful. Let's stop by his new house. Welcome him back to the neighborhood and all that.
Bartrand really hasn't done much with this place, has he?
I don't get it. My sources saw people making deliveries here just a week ago. This looks like it's been empty for months.
You think he put the cobwebs up to discourage tax collectors?
Well, you're thinking it's a trap. Great. It's been ages since my brother tried to kill me. So that's how you greet your brother, is it, Bartrand? Fine. Say hello, Bianca.
You want a piece of me? Let's dance, you sons of bitches! Let's do it! You want a piece of me? Vargrants! I'm coming for you, you nut-humping bastard! You want a piece of me? You want a piece of me? I'll take you all! Let's dance, you sons of bitches! I'll take you all! Vargrants! I'm coming for you, you nut-humping bastard! You want a piece? You're gonna regret this! Let's dance, you sons of bitches! Come here, you bastard! You want a piece of me? One more for the dwarves!
Oh, Varric, please forgive me, my brother. I was just jealous of you. How could I ever compete with you for Mother's love?
You're strong and handsome, and so very smart. What?
Why lie now about this? What have you to gain?
What do you want from me? I broke in, I found my brother, and it was awkward. Family business.
No. I think there's more to it.
Fine. You want the gory details? I'll give you the gory details. These corpses aren't even stiff yet. Somebody's been in here today. These men. They were completely out of their heads. Bertrand, what have you done?
Not going to happen.
Varric? Is that you? Praise the ancestors.
Hold up. I know this man. He's Bartrand's steward. Hugin, what happened here?
Varric, your brother. That statue he brought out of the deep roads. Bartrand said it sang to him, even after he sold it. I've been hiding in here, but the guards, they're like crazed animals. I didn't dare go past them. Everyone in this house has gone mad.
What did he do to the guard to turn them to this?
He's been forcing them to eat lyrium. Some of the servants, he cut pieces off them while they were still alive. He says he's trying to help them hear the song. Please stop him.
Bartrand's not exactly a nice guy, but this doesn't sound like my brother.
You said he sold the statue. To who?
I don't know. It's why we came back to Kirkwall. He was already starting to rant about the sodding idol and its singing. On his better days, he hated the thing. Wanted to get rid of it. But the minute it was gone, he got worse.
I haven't seen anyone alive in here except for guards. What happened to the rest of the staff?
I don't know what Bartrand did to them. By the ancestors, the sounds coming from his study. They're dead by now. I hope.
What do you mean you hope they're dead?
Just whoever, whatever you find in that room. Varric, give them a merciful death.
I assume you mean he's crazy, not just very upset.
He's hearing things, seeing things, talking to someone who's not there. That's when he's feeling good. Bartrand took the servants and locked himself inside the study. No one's come out for days. And those sodding lunatics just keep prowling the halls.
Then we go in after him. Come on, Hawke. Let's finish this.
Everything here is cold. Hard stone. I wish I'd worn shoes with soles now.
Now you fall!
Hear it anymore. I just need to hear the song again. Just for a minute. Stop saying that! I know I shouldn't have sold the idol to that woman. It was a mistake! A mistake.
Bartrand, get a hold of yourself. Do you know where you are? Do you know what you've done?
Varric, you'll help me, won't you, little brother? Help me find it again. You were always a good one.
Help you? Bartrand, you left me to die. You left all your men to die. And for what? Some trinket? Look at yourself. Look at what you've done to the men and women who served you. Where's your nobility, brother? Where's your dwarven honor?
He doesn't look so good. I'm not sure he even knows we're here.
I didn't come here just to leave without telling my brother he's a filthy nuglicker and demanding some answers. Why'd you do it, Bartrand? Were you already crazy before we even went into the deep roads? Or was it all the statue?
Idol, not a statue. It wants to be worshipped. It wants me. It wants me back. She's stolen from me. For this.
Who did you sell the idol to, Bartrand?
She glittered like the sun, but her heart was ice. She will not feed it, not like I did.
So good to know we can count on you for the clear answers.
For 3 years, all I've wanted is to look him in the eye and get his answers. Why he abandoned us in that tide. What any of this was for. I guess there's nothing he could say that would make it right.
Let's finish what we came here for, Varric.
Right. Still going to feel good pulling that trigger. Come on. I don't want to look at this place anymore.
Something on your mind, Varric?
I should thank you for your help with my brother. He was a jackass, and he tried to kill us, but that was still the hardest thing I've ever done. He was never what you'd call nice, or pleasant, or hygienic, but he was my only brother.
Look at it this way. You didn't really lose a brother, you gained control of the family businesses.
Sure. I've always wanted to waste my life arguing with the Merchant Guild. That's probably what drove Bartrand crazy in the first place. I don't know if surface dwarves go back to the stone, or hang around singing hymns with Andraste, or what. I just hope wherever he is now, Bartrand stays out of trouble.
Any idea what really went on with him and that statue?
Well, the thing must be cursed. I don't know if it's magic, or demons, or the bile of the ancestors, but I think curse about covers it. If we're lucky, whoever he sold it to had the damn thing melted down for scrap.
If you're worried about it, we could ask one of the priests to pray for him.
I'm pretty sure any decent priest who prays for Bartrand would burst into flames.
But that's awful. I had no idea priesthood was so dangerous.
Don't worry, Daisy. The Chantry keeps a lot of water on hand. Anyway, thank you. I'll keep looking into who bought that blighted statue. At the very least, they need to be warned about what happened. You have got to hear this, Hawke. There's this tale making the rounds. They're saying you single-handedly fought off a pirate invasion at midnight on the sacred ground of the Chantry.
Don't the stories mention my stunning good looks? What about my cunning wit?
Nope. They skip straight to the part about the lovable dwarf with the gorgeous crossbow and the heart of gold. I try to steer them straight, but you know how stories go. Just don't be surprised if people seem in awe.
What compels you to spin these ridiculous tales?
I love the sound of my own voice, and I'm a compulsive liar. Honestly, I don't know. It's just something I do. There's power in stories, though. That's all history is. The best tales, the ones that last. Might as well be mine.
I find it hard to believe you're spreading these stories without getting something in return.
Well, that just shows what you know, Hawke. The stories are their own reward. You really need to see the look on someone's face when I tell them you ripped the arms off an ogre. Just once.
Wouldn't it make more sense for you to be the main character in these tall tales of yours?
There's a recipe to a good hero, Hawke. It's like alchemy. 1 part down to earth, 1 part selfless nobility, 2 parts crazy, and you season liberally with wild falsehoods. You let that percolate through a good audience for a while, and when it's done, you've got your hero.
I guess all works. A little reverence wouldn't hurt, though.
You're beautiful, deadly, and hang out with fantastic dwarves. It would be a crime if people didn't talk about you. Anyway, I'll quit exaggerating before it goes to your head.
last bottle of the Egregio. I've been saving it for a special occasion.
And what's that?
The anniversary of my escape. Astia Vala Femundis. Care to hear the story?
I thought you avoided talking about this.
Not on special occasions.
I'd like that.
Let's see. You've heard of Saharan? The Imperium and the Qunari have fought over the island for centuries now. I was there with Daenerys during a Qunari attack. I managed to get him to a ship, but there was no room for a slave. I was left behind. I barely got out of the city alive.
There's nothing like war for covering one's escape.
I had no intention of escaping. That time. There are rebels in the Saharan jungles called Fog Warriors. They found me and took me in, nursed me back to health. I stayed with them for a time, until Daenerys finally came for me.
He was relieved to see you'd survived, right?
Relieved to see his investment hadn't ended up in Qunari hands, perhaps. I'd grown fond of the rebels. They bowed to no master and fought for their freedom. It was beyond my experience. When Daenerys came, they refused to let him take me. He ordered me to kill them, so I did. I killed them all.
Why would you do such a thing?
It felt inevitable. My master had returned and this fantasy life was over. But once it was done, I looked down at their bodies. I felt I couldn't. I ran and never looked back.
Didn't Daenerys stop you?
The rebels had wounded him. The soldiers he brought attempted to capture me, unsuccessfully. It was weeks before Daenerys was able to mount the hunt in earnest, but by then, I was already gone.
Couldn't you have found other Fog Warriors? Become a rebel?
Even if I did, I felt unworthy. I had no way of knowing if I could truly escape from Daenerys then. I didn't even know what that meant. I simply had to get away. I stowed aboard a ship to the mainland and moved south, chased by my former master every step of the way.
I have to wonder why you stayed with Daenerys as long as you did.
You have not been a slave. A slave does not dream of freedom or wonder at possibilities. You think only of your master's desires and what the next hour will bring. It did not occur to me that I could be anything else until I had a taste of it.
But there are stories of slaves rebelling all the time. They did in Kirkwall.
The ritual that gave me my markings also stripped me of my memory. Whatever I was before may as well have never been. Perhaps if I knew, I might have felt differently.
How well did you know these Fog Warriors?
I knew them only a few months, but in that time, I felt as if I truly lived. They were bold, strong, free with their affections. I was in awe of them and owed them everything, and I turned on them even so.
Gripping stuff. You should write it down.
You think they teach slaves how to write? I've never spoken about what happened to anyone. I've never wanted to. Perhaps this is what it means to have a friend.
Perhaps you're right.
To you, Hawke. May I fight at your side for years to come.
So, this is where you live. Not bad. I preferred the old place. It had, more charm.
You're talking about the shack I shared with my mother, uncle, and sister.
I meant Lowtown. Dirty, chaotic, glorious Lowtown. The smell of tar, and the sea, and the sound of some whore plying her trade in a back alley. Oh. Don't you miss that?
You can get your thrills in Hightown. If you know where to look.
Oh. And where would that be?
I can show you what I have in mind.
That was... Thank you. I should go. I wouldn't want to take advantage of your... hospitality.
I like it when you take advantage of my hospitality.
It was fun, wasn't it? Well, you know, if you ever want to do it again... Wait. You're not thinking of bringing feelings into this, are you?
What about love?
Love's not for everyone. It's not for me. It's just... messy.
It's not always up to you. Love can be pretty persistent.
I don't care. It can go pester someone else. Did you know I was once married? When I was freed, I swore I would never marry again.
I can't imagine you married.
I was his plaything. A prized possession. He saw me with my mother at the market in Lemerin and decided he had to have me. My mother gave me away for a goat and a handful of gold coins. She didn't even haggle over the price. Bitch.
Your marriage was loveless, and you've never experienced true love?
Oh, I've been in love. I fell in love with a man not long after my husband died. He foolishly asked for my hand. I refused to be tied down again, and I fled. It broke his heart. Destroyed him.
Love them and leave them, eh?
That's right. He should have known better.
How were you freed from the marriage?
My husband took an assassin's blade to the back of the skull. And before you start jumping to conclusions, no, I didn't hire the assassin. I did thank him profusely, however. Ah, Zevran. He was an artist.
You're not afraid of being hurt. You're just afraid of hurting someone else.
No, Look, it isn't like that. It's just easier this way. Now, if you're done trying to confuse the issue, I'm going to go.